As always, family, never telling you what to think. Just ask that we start thinking. And, it's getting close to that time of year, Christmas time. And not even going to go into the whole Christmas holiday and breaking that whole thing down. The Mass of Christ, the Christ's death, it's just the death and the resurrection of the Son. We all know that. So, but one thing that it had me thinking about with this entire situation is that all this book or all the religious writings or any type of religious literature, most of it, most of the ancient writings, most of the religious writings always point to a death and a resurrection. Okay, so if you just look at that whole concept in your life, it applies. Okay, whatever you do in your life, it all evolves around change. Okay, so the old you, that old person, that negative person, that person that is focused on material things, that person that is focused on things that don't matter, things that are insignificant. Okay. Also, in thinking about this, I was thinking about how this book says that if you reject the commandments of God, okay, it says you reject the commandments of God, because you are God, you reject the commandments of God so that you may keep your own traditions. Okay, so whatever those traditions may be. Okay, it's not just religious traditions, it's not just Christmas, it's not just Easter, but it's your traditions. Okay, the lies and the way of life that we are living, the things that you have been taught that are totally incorrect by your parents, by your father, by your mother, their ways, their culture, their traditions. Okay, and these things may be, I guess, detrimental to your life. Okay, they may be adverse to your growth and to your progression. So you reject the commandments of God so that you may keep your own traditions. I'm gonna kind of get into that a little bit deeper here in a moment, but just think about that. Okay, think about all the things that you do. And let's talk about the commandments of God for a moment. I'm not talking about the Ten Commandments. I'm not talking about Moses. I'm talking about your mind. And I'm talking about your intuition. When your brain tells you that you need to do something, that something needs to be done, that idea that you have, that you allow to just stay in here, that you don't bring to fruition. Okay, that thought that you have that you don't express, but you just keep it on the inside. You reject the commandments of God so that you may keep your traditions. Okay, you because of fear or whatever it may be that's holding you back from your greatness. Okay, from being the person that you have always been meant to be, that you are intended to be. You reject the commandments of God so that you may stay in the place where you are, that you may stay the same person, that you may continue year after year to do the exact same things. Not just you, but this country, this nation, this world. Okay, it has to die and it has to be reborn and it has to resurrect in order for life to continue. You have to die and you have to resurrect in order to make it to heaven. Okay, not some place in the sky, but just a higher quality of life, a higher consciousness. Okay, you have to die to your old way, all that old, incorrect and wrong information that has been directing you to the place where you are right now. You have to die and you have to resurrect. Okay, or less if you don't, you will continually reside in hell. You will stay in hell if you don't die. And if you don't resurrect, if you don't become a new creature, you will never ascend. You will never make it to heaven. And that's all these religious books is trying to teach you. Okay. But we have people, we have those who manipulate them for their own benefit. Okay. We have the powers that be that don't want you to know this. Okay. So you have to go within yourself. You have to reject everything that doesn't make sense, the way of life that you've been living. Okay, because we feel like we need all of these things and got to have all of these things in our life, whether it be your garbage. You will never know God. You will never be able to see God until you let go. And I don't ever curse, but I'm gonna use this expletive because it's just gonna make it's just going to bring it home. You will never see God. You will never truly know God until you give up some of. Okay, whether that be the garbage in your garage that you ain't cleaned out, the stuff in your closet that you haven't cleaned out, these things that you cling to, these things that you hang on to, your mental crap. Okay, you will never see God until you give up these things. Okay, so let's talk about the world and the nation, okay, the country, okay, building all of these things that we don't need, weapons of war, traditions. You reject the commandments of God so that you may keep your own traditions. All of this money that's being wasted when we could be living better, living a higher quality of life. All of these things that we're building, we're going to continue to do so and continue to hurt the environment, toxic waste. As a result of all of these things, that the mass production of these things that we absolutely can do without in our life, but because of money and because of greed and because of selfishness, okay, we are creating, the human race is creating a hell for itself. It's creating a place where the human life will cease to exist eventually. Okay, because we're going to kill the environment. We're going to create a situation where this earth is going to become unlivable. It's going to become a living hell if we don't die and resurrect. You reject the commandments of God so that you may keep your own traditions. Just think about that as this year goes forth, as Christmas, the Christ Mass, the Mass of Christ, the death of Christ, as the Son dies and the Son is resurrected. Think about that as this day approaches, okay? Think about that as this year comes to an end. Think about what you need to die to and how you can be, and what type of person you will be if you're reborn. What type of person you will become if you're resurrected. And what will your life be? Will it be heaven or will it be hell? As always, family, just ask that we start thinking. Swink out.
Back on what I should be doing. Lay out the real map on the world and how it is. The message is young black males could do anything if you just give us a shot. Stop trying to beat us down. And to my homeboys, we need to be in control of ourselves. I'm not saying I'm going to change the world, but I guarantee that I will spark the brain that will change the world. So keep your head up. Do what you got to do. And then inside of you, I'll be reborn.